I'd like to welcome everyone to our October 15th board meeting. We will reconvene at 5:10. And I will report closed session. So during closed session, the board took an action on personnel matters. Specifically, the board approved the release without cause of two employees, number 2434 and number 2031, by the vote of 5-0. Okay. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance, but we do have some visitors.
Looks like we have Wyandotte Academy. Come on up. And after they do the Pledge of Allegiance, they also have some other information to share with us this evening. So go ahead.
Hello, our names are Kyle,
Amelia, Aya, Evelyn.
Thank you for inviting us to lead your meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. We are students from Wyandotte Academy.
Saying the Pledge of Allegiance helps form a connection to our country, the United States of America.
When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we honor the flag and everything it represents. We are a country with diverse population. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance instilled a sense of pride for all people.
We say the Pledge of Allegiance to start our day at school, to begin official meetings or ceremonies, and we honor the flag at special events like ball games.
We would like to lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Salute. Pledge. I pledge of allegiance to the flag. United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I also know that Wyandotte may have some other things to share with us. Yeah, right now, and then we'll bring them up right after that.
Kyle and I practiced the microphone beforehand. I figured I'd stand taller. Nice to see you all. I am Christy Anglin, principal of Wyandotte Academy. I said it right this time. I just want to, before I hand it over to my wonderful teachers over here, I want to also say a shout out to my staff that showed up to the meeting tonight. They're giving up some time to be here and be present, so I appreciate them. My little wolf howl, and usually public comment, I give. Yep, see, it's a thing. So I also have a wolf howl for Miss Holly Gutierrez for helping me out learning the steps of special education. It's a challenging task, but she's been side by side with me all the way. So that's my public comment tonight. Ow, Miss. And so thank you, Beth and Lisa, for coming to our events recently. It was nice to see you at our playground ribbon cutting as well as our Hmong New Year fashion show. So with that and other staff members, I thank you too. I'm going to hand it over to my staff.
All right. Hi, I am Ashley Stark. I'm a fifth grade teacher at Wyandotte and also the student council advisor for these wonderful kiddos that were here tonight, as well as several more. A couple of things that we are doing this year for student council. We're really putting an emphasis on just creating a better school climate, school community, focusing on anti-bullying initiatives. We're doing that by having our kindness crew, which we started a couple of years ago, but we're going in more full force with it this year. You can see us out there in front of school most Fridays with music. They have special shirts that they wear, and just greeting everyone with a smile as they walk into school on a Friday morning. It's uplifting, and just a great way to start, our weekend off. Last week, we celebrated Bullying Prevention Day by all wearing blue to school. We did some anti-bullying activities, and our student council students went out to some younger classrooms and read some books about kindness and anti-bullying. And today, most of our staff here are wearing orange, and that is because Unity Day is typically celebrated October 22nd. However, fifth grade is all going to be at Shady Creek, and we didn't want to miss out on the fun. So today, Wyandotte celebrated Unity Day by wearing orange. Our student council president, Kyle Vang, led a announcement across the school this morning, just telling everyone what that day means. It's about inclusion. It's about including everybody, being kind and positive and spreading that to everyone, not leaving anybody out. We did a nice walk around the track this morning to You've Got a Friend of and Me playing. And we all held hands and walked around, and it was just really heartwarming. Student council also led some fun recess games, encouraging participation and making sure that no one was left out at recess. And that's something we're going to continue doing throughout the year. And I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Lowe.
Well, good evening. Oh, I'm kind of short, I guess. Good morning, evening. I'm Jill Lowe. I know quite a few of you I feel connected to a lot of you because 3 of you are Wyandotte people. Mrs. Parmentier was a teacher at our school, and Mrs. Barnes had 2 boys at our school. And Lisa and your husband worked in our classrooms every Friday with Shalene, who's in college. So it's hard to believe. So I feel this warm connection. So I'm so glad that we're still partnering with all of you, even in retirement. Thank you very much. So one thing I would like to highlight, our principal is doing an amazing job. We came to her, it was important to us. We had done it a while ago, an all-school flag salute, where we met every Monday out on the playground. And we did the flag salute as an entire school. And then we had a patriotic song that we learned, and we chose one per month so we could get really good at it. And so we went to Christy, and of course she said yes, because she's the yes girl, and she pulls it off. And we started, and so on Mondays, weather permitting, and you can join us anytime right after the bell rings. We all go and line up. Student council's there with the flags to hold, boombox for the music. Not a boombox anymore. I'm not techie. What is that little speaker called? Bluetooth speaker. I should know that, but I don't. And the kids sing, and then Christy gives her morning message outside to the kids. Our song that we chose to start with is called One Nation. And the reason why we are doing that is this year it was really important to us to bring back our Veterans Day Assembly. We used to do one a while ago, and it kind of went by the wayside. But Ashley and I had continued because my husband works with a lot of veterans, and Ashley's family does too. And so it was important to us every year to do things with the kids, to send veterans things of appreciation. And I even had a veteran who they would always write back to us, who actually cried, who said that they had never gotten a letter or a note where they felt appreciated. So it was important to us to start the assembly again. And I believe it was Dr. Vincent, that brought it to us. So with One Nation, our assembly, and we would like to cordially invite all of you to, is going to be on Thursday, November 6th at 9 in the morning in our cafeteria. We will, student council and several of us, we will be using this book called America's White Table. And this table will be set up in our cafeteria on November 1st. Nothing will be said about it. It will just sit there until the day of the assembly. And we will be reading the book. The kids are going to talk about, introduce what Veterans Day is, why we have the day off. We're going to read the book and find out why every part of that table setting represents something very, very important. And then we are also inviting veterans to our assembly. So if you are a veteran or currently in the military or know somebody that would like to come, we would welcome them to do that. We already have some people that will be attending in person. And the other thing is that we also sent out to all of our families that if they have military families that are all over, we can't have everybody, but we're going to do is it memory or a poster? A poster, but it's a what kind of wall? Honor wall. We're going to do an honor wall where they can send in a photo of their loved one, what branch of the military they're in, and where they're currently serving. So we hope to see you if you are able to make it on that Thursday at 9 in the morning. And reach out to us if you know people who are veterans. I know Andrew, I got a note from, I think it was Nicole Campolo, of different veterans that we have as teachers here. So that was very nice to get, and it would be great. Maybe Mr. Dr. Holton, if some of them could maybe come, I don't know. So not to put you on the spot or anything. And with that said, as Christy says every single morning to the kids, it's a great day to be a Wyandotte wolf, right? Oh! Any questions? We'll
Thank you
take our
very much.
break.
Wyandotte. And students, come on up.
Thank you so much.
Share with our board, where our flag salute is kind of evolving, and what we've asked our schools, that whoever's in charge of the flag salute for that month, just to come and also do a short presentation. We'll be doing that moving forward, trying to keep them short, but I think it's really important that we highlight each of our schools every month. So thank you very much, and Wyandotte, great job.
We will now move on to the comment session. Comments and announcements by board members. Sandra Barnes.
So I went to Oakdale this past week and read to the kiddos. It was a lot of fun. I didn't realize that they were third graders, otherwise I would have brought a different book, but I was able to bring a nice book that we could share. Also, I'm wearing purple in support of Domestic Violence Month. So keep everyone in your prayers and your thoughts, and support and report.
Thank you. Beth Parmentier.
Thank you. I was also able to go to Oakdale Heights and read for them, and I really enjoyed that. Got to see some students that I had before I retired, and I'm in fifth grade. I did bring a bit of a younger book, but they loved it, so it was okay. And I got to see some second grade classrooms also read there. And I was able to attend the ABC fashion show. I'm sure I said, I did that at Wyandotte Academy. It was really lovely. I know that Ophir also had a similar event, and I hope to see them next year. They had it on the same day, exact same day, same time. I was also able to attend the Hmong fashion show that Miss Her put on. Did a wonderful job. The students did a great job. I learned quite a bit that I hadn't known before. And then they had some nice things out on their playground afterwards for the kids to do. And it was really a great time. I do want to give a big thank you to the district and the maintenance department, all the people in charge of putting all the new play equipment up at the schools. If you haven't had a chance to go by and see that, it's just wonderful. So happy. Thanks.
Daryl Thompson. Bill LaGrone? Okay, I would like to say I also attended the fashion show and the ribbon cutting. I did go to the Hmong New Year fashion show, but I wasn't able to stay, but I did have a good time when I was there. I did go to the Hmong New Year on Sunday. I love seeing the clothes, and the food is amazing as usual. Um, I just want to thank all the principals. When I go into the site visits, I went to Stanford, Ophir, and Wyandotte, and I just want to thank the principals for welcoming me, and also for touring the school. They've showed me some amazing things. All the teachers are doing wonderful jobs. The students are very attentive. So great work there. I got a note from Spencer saying that the PBIS team that went down to Sacramento on Friday did an amazing job. So thank you so much for representing Oroville District as well. And the attendance has gone up tremendously. And I thank all those that are participating in that. And the attendance awareness, I really appreciate Principal Zhang for making that video and bringing it out and showing that it's just not about getting to school, but it's also about preparedness for an adulthood of responsibility, of getting up and getting a job and being on time. So it just doesn't stop at just getting to school on time. So I just want to thank all the teachers for all the work that you're doing, and administrative staff. You guys are doing an amazing job. And I do want to tell Troy, I just want to sit there and say, you know what, you're an amazing person. And we just wish you the best, because I know that wherever you go, you're going to sit there and do the work that you've done here. And we just thank you for all that you've done. And I remember when I first met Troy, it's a funny story. We went to a CSBA conference that we do every year. And then me and CO got there, and someone took our room. And they're like, somebody already got your room. And so I was going off. I was like, what do you mean somebody got a room? They said, yeah, someone named Troy Cox. And I called Spencer. I said, who's this Troy Cox? And he said, oh, he's the new guy. And I said, well, he just took our rooms. And so the next morning I sat there and saw Troy. I said, so you're the one who took our rooms, huh? So yeah, so that's how we met Troy. And so, but you know what? He took our rooms, but since then he's done an amazing job with the district, and he's really done what he's supposed to be doing. So Troy, there's always a funny story when somebody meets each other. So I just thank you for that meeting, for that amazing story that we will always hold true to each other. So like I said, we wish you the best, and we know that you're going to sit there and just do an amazing job at your next job. So thank you.
And thank you for always bringing the light, the joy, and the happiness. Never a cloud in the sky with you. Never.
Spencer Holton.
Yeah, thank you very much. Troy, thank you very much. We wish you the greatest of luck in Firebaugh. It's going to be a great adventure for you, and good luck to you. And thank you for all the work you've done for this district the last couple years. I do want to say that we did find Lisa and CO another room that night. They didn't have to sleep in their car. I just want to make sure I took care of that. Okay. But want to say that it's been great. I'm back on my regular schedule of visiting all the sites twice a month. I love being in the classrooms. The charts are up. Students are busy. Teachers and staff are doing their job. So keep up the great work. Want to let the board know that Shady Creek is scheduled for next week. Looks like it's going to be pretty good weather, right? Jessica North is in charge of that for the district, and she's about ready to die. So those are all the high school kids that are our counselors there. And so that's a lot of work, a lot of interviewing, a lot of preparation, but we're really excited to be sending all of our fifth graders from all of our schools there for another year. And that's a big deal for us and a big deal for them. So thank you for that. I was able to attend the PBIS conference last Friday morning. That's why I wasn't at Wyandotte, but I was in Sacramento. And Amy Hubbard and Laura Fox and Jen Garcia represented our district and did a great job presenting on all the great work we've done here in the district with PBIS. So great job to them. I wanted to update the board that the conference I went to several weeks ago was school CEO conference, was great. Just want to remind all of my principals that are here, the email I sent out to update your websites and keep them current and active. The district is working very hard to continually post and create new and more innovative ways to keep our parents up to date. You'll notice that we have a new chat bot on our district homepage, which is basically a AI generated chat to where parents can type in any question that they have about the district, and it will pull up that link right there to make it much more user friendly. Aptigee is the company that we use, and I went to their conference. And the number one way that they shared nationwide that parents seek information from the district is through the district website. And so we're constantly trying to update that and keep that up to date so that our parents can be up to date as well. Want to let everybody know that our athletics are up and going everywhere at all our schools, and our kids are playing a lot of sports. And it's really great for our schools and for our kids and for our community. And we just started Saturday school. Our first Saturday school wasn't as well attended as we hoped, but we're working out the kinks, and we'll be doing 17 more of those attendance recovery days throughout the year. And thank you to all those who are participating. And thank you again to my principals and administrators that are here tonight, and wish you a good rest of the week.
Andrew James.
Good evening, everybody. A few things this evening. First, I just wanted to thank Troy for the time we got to spend together. It's been a lot of everything, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. I appreciate you, and good luck in the future at Fireball. Announcement for the board: tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at Ishii Hills, we're going to have the grand opening of the sports pavilion at Ishii. Chico State basketball teams are both going to be there. And then at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll have the grand opening of the sports pavilion at the studios at Central with Chico State, both basketball teams there as well. So you're invited to come. It should be a good time. They'll be kind of quick because the Chico State team has to get back to Chico State to hit their classes. But we're looking forward to a nice day, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. And then lastly, tonight, the presentations, food services is here, and I just wanted to thank them. They're kind of the silent, dedicated group of people that just get it done all the time. They're the group that when we need to do summer school, attendance recovery weekends, when we need to have meals over holidays for our youth who are in need, they come through. You never see them or hear from them here, but they're hardworking people, and they're there every day, and they're doing a very honorable job of feeding kids. And I just want to thank them tonight.
Thank you. Troy Cox.
So I wanted to start by thanking everyone for my time here in Oroville, and starting with the site principals. You know, change is not always easy, but we have a solid group of educators that really care about their students. And I think we've put things into place that are definitely going to have positive momentum in the future. So we're definitely working that way. So I wish them all the best and continued success. Definitely. As far as our board itself, I will take everything that we have done over the past 2+ years and the time we've spent together, and definitely use that with my new board. So I look forward to that, definitely. And I believe we have a date at CSBA. We're having joint dinner with both boards, so that'll be interesting for sure. So we'll see each other again soon, be able to talk about the good times. So thank you so much. I appreciate the relationship, the openness, and the caring that all of you show for the district and what it does. And Andrew, definitely sentiments echoed. Worked side by side through many things. Some easy, some hard, some funny, some not so funny. So, but every time we've always found a way to chuckle and get through. So thank you. It's truly been an honor. Thank you. And Dr. Holtum, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the time we had together, and thank you for teaching me ways to be humility. You know, as far as with humility. Thank you. How to support boards in a proper way, how to be a good communicator, things I'll definitely take to my next assignment. So it's truly been an honor with everyone. So thank you, and especially you, Dr. Holton. Thank you.
Thank you. Holly Gutierrez.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Troy, and thank you for always taking my calls and working through things with us, definitely in special ed, and just for all of the systems that you've brought in. A lot of the PLC and that time that we spent, really, I know Troy has spent hours and hours of agenda and planning all of that for our teachers, and I think that's vital for our teachers to have. As a parent, as a fifth grader, Shady Creek is definitely the talk of the town at my house right now. My son is also going to go as a counselor. So that is very exciting. The teachers, along with Jessica, have put in so many hours. I have been on Zooms as part of your admin, just going over things. I see the teachers working during their lunches, making copies, making sure the packets for all the kiddos who aren't going are here and ready for them come Monday. And I know it's a lot to the teachers, and I just want to thank all the teachers, Jessica, everyone that was involved, because I know how much it has taken to do this and how wonderful it's going to be for our kiddos.
Thank you. We will now have comments by the public. At this time, the board will extend invitation to interested parties who wish to speak on matters which are school related. For those attending remotely who wish to comment, use the raise your hand button to be called on to speak. Is there anybody online?
No, there's not.
Okay. We will now move on to present.
Do we have any here?
Do we have any comments in the public? No.
Okay.
Okay, we'll now move on to presentations from food services.
Okay, there we go. Okay, thank you for allowing me the time to share about our food services program and our child nutrition programs that we operate. And thank you, Andrew, for the kind words for our food services staff. They really do work in the background behind the scenes to make sure all of our students have nutritious meals every day. So thank you for that. In our school district, we operate 3 nutrition programs. We operate the school breakfast program, the national school lunch program, and during summer, we operate the seamless summer feeding program. I handed out a few little flyers that kind of go over that. We operate under offer versus serve for all of our programs, which allows students the flexibility to be able to choose what they would like to eat for breakfast and lunch. And it also helps prevent waste through food. So for breakfast, our students are offered 4 items from at least 3 food component groups. This is where it gets slightly confusing, and you can see all the different work that the ladies in the kitchen have to do while they're serving students. So they have to follow the breakfast meal components. They have to offer at least 3 food component groups, which are milk, grain, or meat alternates, which we call proteins, but in the child nutrition programs, it's meat or meat alternates, and fruit. Students must take at least 3 items, one of them being a half a cup of fruit or vegetable. This year, it was added into federal regulations that proteins or meat alternates can count towards the combined grain and meat alternate component. Previously, only grains were required. Adding proteins in there is a huge win because a lot of grains have not a lot of sugar because we have to follow components, but they still have sugar items in it. So if we can offer something like eggs or meat protein item or even just cheese, it's a little bit more substantial to start their day. It was also added into regulations this year that flavored milk, cereals, and yogurt all have sugar limits, which is another huge win for child nutrition programs. We already have to comply with several nutrition guidelines, but that is one that really helps, especially for breakfast at the start of the day, prevent too much sugar. You know, donuts are a popular breakfast item for kids, or muffins. So they're in the program, in the foods that we purchase, there are sugar limits for those. This has helped require that manufacturers formulate products to fit into school nutrition programs, which is a side note they should do for grocery stores as well. They're working on that. For example, the cereals, and I brought one today if anyone wants to read the ingredients, our Trix cereal, which Trix you automatically think unhealthy, but this is specially formulated for child nutrition programs. So there's no added dyes and there's reduced amounts of sugar. There's still corn syrup. Hopefully one day they'll take that out too, but they're working, the state and federal regulations are working on those components. So it's a win when you can still offer kids items that they are used to eating, but just maybe slightly better options. For lunch, our students are offered items from all 5 components: milk, grains, fruit, veggies, and meat alternates. They must still choose at least 3 items, one of them being a half a cup of fruit or vegetable. So fruit or vegetable is always something that they're required to take to help promote eating fruits, fresh fruits and vegetables. There are other requirements of how much components that have to be offered within each component, but we won't get into that. It's complicated. The kitchen staff work extremely hard to ensure that they provide the required components and that students take the required components and that our students receive nutritional meals that they also enjoy to eat. Last year, we served over 367,000 meals during the regular school year to our students district-wide. We also operated our own summer feeding program last year, where we served meals at Wyandotte Academy, and we also sponsored the YMCA and the Orville branch of the Butte Library meal programs. Summer feeding programs allow the same nutrition or follow the same nutrition guidelines and meal patterns. However, so summer programs give us the opportunity to have open sites where all children in the community can have access to free breakfast and lunch, whether they're a part of the program or enrolled in summer school. It's an open site, so they can still, if they're just walking by, we have banners out and they can come join for breakfast or lunch. Our program this year was a huge success, and we look forward to partnering with these community programs in the future to be able to provide meals to students during the summer. We also had the opportunity to offer meals to students last year during our Christmas, winter, and spring breaks. Myself and a few of our food service staff prepped and bagged meals at Wyandotte Academy for grab-and-go style meal distribution. We were able to hand out during all of those breaks over 4,900 meals to students who rely on school meals for breakfast and lunch, but weren't at school for those meals. Currently, there are no state or federal programs that offer school meal service during break periods of less than 10 days that don't include weekends and holidays, which is kind of a way for them to take that out, because even the Christmas break, it's over 10 days. However, there's weekends and holidays included in there. So there's currently no school breaks besides summer, which they offer the summer feeding program that we can offer a state or federally funded program. I did have the opportunity last year during a California School Nutrition Conference to share the success of our meal distribution with representatives from the CDE Nutrition Services Division and other school nutrition professionals in hopes to get some positive change in the direction of state and federal offering programs where we can feed students during breaks. Over the last year, we have been working with many community partners. We partnered with Recology for food waste and recycling efforts, where a representative from Recology came out to each one of our schools. They did assemblies. They helped train students and staff on food waste and how to properly discard of food waste and recycling efforts. We also partnered with the 530 Food Rescue to help reduce food waste and donate unused food to local food banks. And we continuously support local farms through food hubs like Happy Valley Fresh that we use to receive local produce weekly, and a new partnership that was created through connections from Veronica and the Carrot Ladies to support even more local farms through the North Valley Food Hub out of Chico State. Tomorrow, we will be supporting a local farm in partnership with CalFresh Healthy Living and the North Valley Food Hub by celebrating California Crunch Day at all of our schools. Students will be offered an apple sourced from a local farm, Noble Orchards in Paradise, along with stickers, pencils, and a newsletter to take home to share with their family and parents. And I also shared with everyone here, and then there should be a Parent Square post happening tonight and tomorrow also to share that information. We will continue to have more farm to school events during the school year in partnership with the Carrot Ladies and our local food hubs. We also, last year and continuing this year, thanks to Mrs. Jennifer Cooper and her class of fifth graders, she has an elective class that she's teaching that they are creating. She has recipes made. They are prepping and learning how to properly prep foods, and then they create the recipe. They get to do a taste testing, and then she creates a recipe book out of it. And our cook at Ophir was able to assist with that last year, and I got to help, and it was a lot of fun. It was awesome to see the kids' excitement and then come back and they say, I went home and I cooked this for my family. And we had one of the recipes last year was a quesadilla, chicken quesadilla, and salsa and guacamole. And then they all went home and made that for their families and came back and talked about it. So she's continuing that this year. So a little shout out to her because it's exciting to see students excited about food and nutrition and being a part of it, getting to make their meals. All right, and the last info I have to share today for our child nutrition program is we have our upcoming wellness policy. Our first one of the year will be on November 13th. We will be discussing our triennial wellness policy review along with additional areas of fitness and nutrition related goals, and all are welcome to join. I've shared a little flyer with everyone that kind of goes over the required components of what a wellness committee and wellness policy has. And then after the meeting today, we have a treat that Carrie, our cook at the studios, prepped for us to enjoy after the meeting. It's a peach crisp that she will make and share with the students as an optional breakfast item when there's like a special event going on. And I also gave everyone up here a meal ticket, and you are more than welcome to join any of our schools at any day you want to choose. Our menus are posted online. If you want to choose a day to come by one of our school sites and join the kitchen or the students for lunch, just give the ladies a call. You could call the office or call the kitchen, let them know before 9. That way they make sure they prep enough food. You can order a salad too. I've been told that all of our sites have great salads, but I know from personally, Wyandotte has a really good salad, and Ishii, I've been told by multiple people, has great salads. So if you want to order a salad instead of something that's on the menu, you can do that as well. And that is all I have. So thank you for letting me share today about our food services program.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you very much. You do a great job for us, Shari.
Thank you.
Let's give her a big round of applause. Certainly can ask a question.
Yes, I like what you're saying about. What are you gonna do for campuses for hydration? I noticed like we're visiting the office.
Water is, that's a great question. Water is actually a part of child nutrition programs as it's required anywhere meal service is offered. So if they're on a field trip, we should be offering water. There's drinking fountains in the cafeteria, right outside of the cafeteria, so that they have water. Milk is offered at both breakfast and lunch as a component. It has to be fat-free or reduced fat. And then again, the chocolate milk is reduced sugar. So it can't be as much sugar as what's in the chocolate milk at the grocery store. They've actually had to reformulate that. But as far as hydration, we do offer all of the drinking fountains and waters.
So if they wanted.
Yes, or we also have cups in the cafeteria if they wanted water and then fill it up at the drinking fountain. Yeah, we offer the cups. Yeah,
And,
of course.
Several years ago, we got a grant where we have filling stations, and a lot of kids bring their own, canteen or the cup or whatever. And so, and those are located at all our school sites all over the campuses. It's a good filtration. I don't know. Yeah. But it is uh, I don't know, Andrew, we put them in a couple years ago. I don't know.
I don't know that there's any filtration per se
I
on
mean, I
them.
don't
I think
know.
there's water bottle fillers.
Um, I also want to applaud our board because the district, through the direction, and I want our community to know this, that during the breaks that are less than 10 days where we don't get additional funding through the state or federal, that our board has made a commitment to ensure that we still offer our food service programs. And so I'd like to commend our board for giving us that direction, me to Andrew, to Shari, that we continue to fund for those families that would otherwise go without some of those meals. So thank you very much,
Yes.
board.
Yes, thank you. I've seen, you know that hunger is out there. You just don't always think that it's necessarily in our community. And we strive for the best nutrition as possible. But if they're not eating at all, then there's no nutrition. So we do the grab and go style meals, keeping in mind our students' needs for those students that are walking up to us, not realizing that we're even giving food away. They have no way to prep the meals themselves. They shouldn't be operating kitchen equipment. So it's whole fresh fruits and vegetables as much as possible, and then items that they can open and eat so that there's very little prep, so that if they are by chance, which does happen, home by themselves and they don't have a parent or a guardian or older sibling to be able to help prep the meal, they still have nutrition. So thank you for allowing us to do that.
Thank you very much, Shari.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move on to the public hearing session. Proposed compensation for certificated staff effective July 1st of 2024 OETA.
So this is the first of the three proposed public hearing session items on the compensation changes we have listed. They're just looking at me kind of crazy, like, is everything all right? This one is for OETA. It goes back to July 1st, 2024, and is a 2.25% increase from then. Each of the different groups that you'll find is done a little bit differently. And in the spirit of negotiations, the amounts equal the same amount of money at the end of the day per group, but everybody had a little bit different needs and different wants. So we worked with them to get their wants and needs met. So this is the first, and most of the, almost all of the proposed compensation changes were already included in the original budget because we were a long ways into negotiating compensation. So the 2.25 is already included in the budget ongoing. So there aren't really budget revisions needed. I just wanted to clarify that because that's one of the pieces that they ask. So are there any questions about the compensation increases?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
We will now move on to B, proposed compensation for non-represented employees effective July 1st of 2024.
Okay, so this includes our confidential staff. It includes our management staff, which includes the principals and assistant principals. It includes our supervisory staff, which includes our coordinator of food services. It includes our director of maintenance and operations and our coordinator of state reporting. It also includes administrative staff, including my position and Assistant Superintendent Cox's position. And the superintendent's position is excluded from this increase, and there is no increase in this board agenda at all for the superintendent. He renegotiated his contract, and so that's where we left it. So I wanted to make that sure that was clear. When it comes to this particular one, as the teachers took the 2.25% starting July 1st, 2024, depending on the group, they did a little bit differently. Some of the groups needed to have additional steps added, so they only got 2% instead of 2.25. The groups that didn't need to have steps got the 2.25. So everybody kind of got to pick what it is they needed. And we were able to also fix some of our deficiencies in our salary schedules, like our principal salary schedule only went to maybe step 7, and now it has some more steps. That's a lot better for us going forward for retaining principals and also hiring principals. So I thank the board for supporting that.
Thank you. We'll now move on. Proposed compensation for classified staff effective July 1st of 2024, CSEA.
So CSEA, we brought you most of their settlement at a prior meeting because we met with them and settled last fiscal year. This is just after all the negotiations were done, there was some one-time money that was beyond what they had settled for. And so this is them receiving the one-time money to even them out with everybody else.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to,
So before we move forward with the a motion, Madam President, I would like to bring the attention to the board on the consent agenda for personnel recommendation. So in that, under those recommendations is the resignation of Troy Cox, our assistant superintendent, as he's moving on to another district to become a superintendent. But with his vacancy, under the personnel recommendation, I would like to recognize and introduce Vince Zhang. We would like to recognize him under the board agenda as the new interim assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction. And based on the direction of the board, that position of assistant superintendent of instruction will be flying that position in February of 2026. So in about 5 months. In the interim, he'll take that position. I'm recommending to the board that the assistant principal at Studios at Central, Vince's position as principal, be taken over interim by Patricia Leonard, who's in our audience. And then later on in the agenda, we'll talk about the possibilities for backfilling Patricia's position. But at this time, as part of the consent agenda under the personnel recommendation, they're listed as employee numbers. But now I'd like to introduce them formally. And they both are eager to get started and to assume those positions. I will state for everybody here that until we fully backfill the studios at Central, Vince will be housing his office at the studios until we backfill Patricia's job, because we feel like it's very important that we have maintain a good transition process there. So any questions from the board?
okay, so can I get a motion with the resignation of Troy and the new positions that were just announced?
Yeah, and those are already on the under the personnel recommendation. So you can just make a regular motion for the consent agenda. The only difference was they were listed under employee numbers because I wanted to keep it until we could announce it at this meeting.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve a consent agenda with my heartfelt thanks and congratulations to the two moving up.
Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 5 yes votes. We're going to move on to new business. Set date for annual organizational meeting.
So it is recommended that the board set December 17th, 2025 at our regular scheduled 5 p.m. board meeting as a new date and time for the annual organization meeting per the guidelines set forth in Education Code 35143. The annual organization meeting will be in conjunction with the regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees. And this is when we you nominate and we reset the president, vice president, and clerk for the board for the next school year,
Okay.
or for the next calendar year.
Okay. Can I get a motion? Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. Approved memorandum of understanding, OETA Summer School 2024, 2025, and 2026.
So it's recommended that the MOU with the Oroville Teachers Association be approved for the June, July session of last year and the June, July session of the 25-26 summer school program. Basically, what we're doing is just renewing last year's MOU for pay conditions that were set forth for last summer school, and we've just renewed it and bringing it to the board for the 25-26 summer school.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
I have one. Why are we doing 24, 25? Is that just because of the compensation change to make sure that we pay those that worked in the 24, 25?
No,
Or are we doing this specifically for the 25, specifically for June because July was in the other fiscal year?
yes, and that's part of it, but
Okay.
also I just
I just-
wanted to bring forth the fact that it that same MOU didn't change from last year to this year.
Okay, I just had to wrap my mind around it a little
Yeah,
bit. Thank you.
We should have looked at that wording a little bit differently, but
Oh, that's okay.
yeah.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. Approved memorandum of understanding with the California School Employees Association, one-time off-schedule compensation.
As we discussed in public hearing, this is the CSEA's final piece of their compensation to get them up to the same compensation level as the other groups.
Does the board have any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. Approved memorandum of understanding with OETA Saturday School.
It is recommended that a memorandum of understanding with the Oroville Elementary Teachers Association be approved regarding Saturday school during the 25-26 school year. This is also Saturday school / attendance recovery program. We have 17 days scheduled that we'll be doing attendance recovery. The majority of those days are on Saturday school, hence the name Saturday school, but we'll also be doing a handful of days that are calendared during the November break, a couple days during the December, January break, and then February and April break. And during those breaks, we'll have one day typically that kids can come to school and make up attendance and also do credit recovery for the middle school.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to an approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. E, approved memorandum of understanding with the Oroville Elementary Teachers Association.
It is recommended that the MOU between the district and the Oroville Elementary Teachers Association titled ESN Level 2 Program Salary Schedule and Years of Credit Service, which includes the creation of a new teacher position titled Extensive Support Needs Level 2, be approved as presented. And as I've shared with the board earlier, this position was created so that we can pay teachers who are current special ed teachers, but are dealing with a higher level of students with special needs so that we can recruit and retain those teachers, because those teachers are dealing with with teachers that at times can be very violent and very difficult. This is an effort for us to meet the needs of our students and be able to find the teachers that are willing to work with these kind of conditions.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding? Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 5 yes votes. F, approve memorandum of understanding with the California School Employees Association, revision of job description.
So this is for our California State Preschool program. We are having challenging times filling our master and associate preschool teacher positions. This is sort of a loosening of the requirements so that people can be in the program when we hire them. So it adds a little bit more flexibility so people don't have to come in fully certified. They can get certified while they're in their probationary period.
Does the board have any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve? Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 5 yes votes. Approve job description, speech language pathologist assistant.
Holly, would you like to take this?
Yes, so this position is a new position within our district. So we are seeing at this time, we have more vendors as our speech and language pathologists versus our own employees. One way to look at opening our hiring pool is looking at hiring a speech and language pathologist assistant. This person would be allowed with their with their certifications to provide direct services to speech services to students under the supervision of our current SLP speech and language pathologist. Our speech and language pathologist would be the ones responsible for any standardized assessments or anything to do with the actual IEP.
This is a practice that's done by a lot of larger districts. We've looked at this job description possibility in the past, and with the growing need that Holly just shared, we're looking at more opportunities where we can provide direct services to our students in person in our schools. This person will be on the classified pay scale. We do not have a salary schedule in place yet, as that still needs to be negotiated, but that will be one of our priorities in the next couple of months. But we wanted to get the job description in place so that we can now then go and negotiate it.
Thank you.
Is this a full-time?
This would be a full-time position. SLPAs do have bachelor's degrees in speech-related programs. And they do have 70 hours of certification. The difference between SLPs and SLPAs is SLPs have more schooling, have a master's degree, and a lot of SLPAs are moving in that direction. So this is also another way for us to get these people in, get their foot in the door, and then as they're continuing their education, we can then hire them as full SLPs.
I have a question. So will these assistants, they have their own caseload?
They don't have a caseload. They would have a caseload that's supervised by, so Elaine Mua is at Oakdale. So she would have her Oakdale caseload, and there would be some kiddos that would possibly be serviced by this SLPA. They don't have access to SACE other than, which is our online system for IEPs, other than a view only to be able to look at the goals. So they don't actually do anything directly with an IEP or with any assessments. It's direct services to the student.
So if we're serving more students with them. Does that increase then the SLP's caseload? I mean,
It does. Typically, what we would have to do next, once we have this job description, is to meet with the union and discuss stipend. That's typically when I were looking, Elaine and I and the SLPs, we've met about this, and your SLPs really would love to have SLPAs. And then that piece of it of what does stipend look like. And that is what other school districts did.
Is there an ed code on about how many they're supposed to have?
No.
There isn't.
Not necessarily a set amount. There's ed code for when we're looking at SLPs who are not provided with an extra stipend to oversee more students.
Because they will be required to be the IEP person on that.
Caseload
Caseload.
management,
So they are
yes.
going to be doing more work,
Yes.
even though they're not doing that.
Hence the need for the stipend.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Can I get a motion?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Keep us posted as to the caseload in case we need to make an amendment.
Thank you. Okay. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 5 yes votes. Approve OCSD's Expanded Learning Opportunities Program Plan Guide.
So this is the updated plan guide for our expanded learning opportunity program. We have to bring this to the board for approval every 12 months. It's primarily the same as prior year with the same plan and goals. So that's what we're presented today.
So, and this has to do with expanded learning is anything that we do outside the regular school day. And so we're doing tutoring. Our middle schools are doing what they call credit recovery, so that they can help kids who received Fs in some of their middle school classes, and they're given an opportunity to do after school credit recovery with a credentialed teacher, so that they can make up those classes. We also do at some of our schools, we also work with BCOE as part of our after school program to provide other opportunities for tutoring. And this is also has to do with our contract with BCOE and the after school program.
Are the teachers coordinating this one, or is that a kind of a directive, a suggestion? Hey, you have a student that has a issue and they're suggested to go.
Well, this particular plan has more to do with our after school program. But we have a lot of different mechanisms for who goes to our tutoring. Some of it is teacher directed and recommendations, but a lot of it has to do with availability. A lot of our kids that do the after school tutoring with our teachers are also part of the after school program. And so they're already there. So instead of going to the after school program right away, they go to a credentialed teacher and spend an hour with them and then go to the after school program. But we do that in conjunction with the after school program.
And they get credit for that?
And we can get credit, attendance credit for that. And we find it, more beneficial that they're being tutored by a credentialed teacher.
For sure.
The board have any more questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Bless you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 5 yes votes. I review quarterly report of district compliance with Education Code, Section 35186 D.
So this is our quarterly report for our Williams visit, and there were no findings this quarter.
Thank you. That is not an action item, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on to business and finance. A, approve unaudited actual financial reports for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
So in your packet, I sent out the unaudited actuals. A bit of background, the unaudited actuals is the product of me closing the books for the year. It's not a budget. I didn't do any new budgets for this particular document. What it is that represents the closed books. And typically your ending balances have been a little bit higher. And there is a series of tests to make sure that we're spending our money appropriately and meeting all of the many requirements the state has put on us as far as expenditure requirements. So the first question, ending balances. Our unrestricted ending balance was $436,000 over projected at estimated actuals, which is pretty close. Our restricted ending balance was down. It's actually less than what I had projected. And that had to do with some of the construction projects that we have going on, like the Wyandotte playgrounds and some of the other things where we ordered equipment and they delivered early, right? So they just like to keep me guessing. Normally it's late. So that's why we're down a little bit in restricted ending balance. But restricted programs, as you remember, are programs that have specific uses, and the unrestricted side of the budget is a lot more important as far as our financial health. One thing that happened, there were extra transfers this year. When the Feather Falls School burned down in the North Complex fire, we are in a liability insurance pool with the Golden Feather School District as well. And we split the claim. And it had to do, the claim splitter had to do with the amount of buildings and things in our entire district. So they got out of insurance maybe $2 million, and we got maybe $500,000 of insurance. So FEMA fills in the rest of where your loss was and where your insurance didn't cover. So we've been, since then, working with FEMA. We made a project. We completed the project. It was a project where we replaced air conditioning systems at Central and Ophir. About $2 million. It was actually more like $2.5 million after we got it all done. Our approval has been in an environmental review for 3 years. So finally, all of the expenses came in, and I went to the other funds that we have that have money available for construction type projects, not for anything else, just construction money we have in other funds, and transferred them into the budget at the end of the year to make that whole as we continue to wait for FEMA. I did reach out to legal support and talk about our options, and I'm exploring those options. But of course, the day after I talked to this guy, Cal OES, who is sort of our intermediary, called up and said, "Hey, stuff's happening. Whoever's desk that was on, they blew the dust off, and they're looking at papers now and be ready with all of your receipts and everything, so you can get your money as a reimbursement." So just waiting for FEMA to reach out. And if they don't reach out soon, I'll continue down the path of what we talked about with the attorney. And those are some steps that as we get to those things, I will let you know. Required tests. We have a number of them. We did great on special education maintenance of effort. In case you're wondering what a maintenance of effort test is did you spend as much last year or this year as you did the year before on special ed? And boy, did we. We won that one by a lot. There's also the current expense of education formula and minimum classroom compensation, which we passed, no problems. And the ESMOE, which used to be the NCLB MOE, and we passed that as well as far as our per student spending. So we did fine in all of our tests. We're spending the money appropriately and in the right places. And that's pretty much the story of the unaudited actuals. It took a long time to close the books. There were a lot of complexities this year. But I had a little bit of extra time because there was a delay. The county had got a new financial system maybe 3 years ago, and they still haven't really got that dialed in yet. So it took them until September to get me how much cash I had in June. So they gave us a little extra grace. That's why it's here in October instead of September. But I was able to go through and really break some things down and make sure some things were really well corrected. and appropriately done. So I felt like took advantage of the extra time and poured it into this unaudited actual. So we'll start this year on a really good place. Are there any questions about the unaudited actuals this time?
We'll keep the board up to date on our FEMA work and let you know if we need to take other steps to secure that money. It has taken 3 years. We get emails all the time saying, oh, they're working on it or this or that, but hopefully through Cal OES saying, hey, looks like it's starting to move. Hopefully we'll see that in the next several months.
Thank you. Does the board have any other questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve? Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. Approve revised non-represented salary schedules.
So as we discussed before, these are the salary schedules for those non-represented classifications of employees, and this is you approving the actual salary schedule.
Okay, does the board have any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve? Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. Approve revised salary schedules.
So these are the certificated salary schedules. And this is the settlement we agreed to with the teachers, which is the 2.25% starting July 1st. Of course, when we talk about settling with the union, we're talking about 6 or 7 salary schedules because they have the nurse's salary schedule, the teacher's salary schedule, psychologist. So it's a whole slate of salary schedules. And there is on this particular item, instead of having the items as attachments, there's a link to go get them as attachments. We had a technical problem with board docs, and we'll talk more about that at a later agenda item. But I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any? Did you say no?
I said no.
Okay, thank you. Any abstain? Passed with 4 yes votes. Approved salary schedule, ESN Level 2 teacher.
So as I discussed earlier, this is for the ESN Level 2 teacher. This is the salary schedule that will go into effect for that position.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions or comments? Okay, can I get a motion to approve? Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. Adopt resolution authorizing continued funding application for year 2026 to 27.
So this is part of our state preschool. They come in and they do some audits, and this just authorizes myself or Jesse to sign off on those.
Does the board have any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. F, adopt resolution 25-26-03, resolution for adopting the GANs limits.
Buckle up, everyone. We got the GAN this year.
Gosh.
GAN attacks again.
So GAN limit. So this is the 425 GAN limit. And again, the GAN limit is not the radiation source that transformed Bruce Banner into the Incredible Hulk. Instead, it is a calculation established in 1979 under Prop 4 to ensure that local and state government growth is constrained by inflation. This is 1979 Bob Dylan. Still looking pretty good there. Got the glasses and the beard. It's a good year for Bob Dylan, I think. So in 1979, if government appropriations exceeded the GAN limit, the funds would be returned to the taxpayers. So it's to hold government back from rapid inflation. 1988, the GAN limit was changed by Prop 98 in 1988. So any excess funds would not now be returned to the taxpayers, but be returned to public education. Here's Bob Dylan in 1988, looking pretty happy, but a few years older. And 2025, there's 2025 Bob Dylan. The GAN limit has grown significantly faster than government appropriations since 1988, making the GAN limit, and you'll also have to approve my calculation of the GAN limit, so you get to approve this twice, purely a formality for school districts. It's just a circle. It doesn't actually accomplish anything anymore, but we still have it on the books, and I still prepare it, and I still present it to you once a year. And then this is how we assume the Incredible Hulk feels about the GAN limit being an archaic formality. Just full of rage. All right. So that's my GAN limit presentation.
He did not disappoint this year. Thank you.
No.
Hey, if you can
didn't.
bring the Hulk out, you got to bring the Hulk out.
Does the board have any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to adopt the resolution? Second? All those in favor? Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 5 yes votes. Approve the GAN limit appropriations calculations.
So as I mentioned, not only do you have to adopt a resolution, you also have to approve the calculation. So here, this is the calculation for you to approve.
Any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 5 yes votes. H, approve quote for policy services CSBA.
So as I mentioned before, when we talked about board docs and how it didn't work, board docs is going away. Our contract with them goes through March. We already talked about and you already approved us moving your board policies into the CSBA gamut